Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Words make things happen. Words make us alive. These are the words of one of our prolific Aranda elders, Auntie M.K. Turner, whose wisdom and life's work has had a lasting impact in our community. My name is Madeleine. I'm an Aranda, Bundjalung and Kalkadoon woman born and raised on Gadigal lands, and I would like to pay my respects to the traditional owners past and present. I'd like to start off by thanking L'Oréal Paris for championing a movement that has and continues to celebrate women from all walks of life. Auntie MK's words and the powerful women in my matriarchal family have shaped who I am and have paved the way for me. When my self-critic has been at its strongest, it is their words, nurturing and support that has got me back on track and have helped shift the way I view myself. They help me see myself as someone who is strong, independent, and capable of handling anything with confidence and resilience. I consider myself very lucky to have grown up in an artistic family and be surrounded by creatives. It was through these fascinating people that I realized how art was a medium in which they could express themselves, create a dialogue, and change the world around them. That is how I got into acting. My first acting job was when I was 12 in a short film directed by Deborah Mailman called Ralph. I found acting as a form of escapism, and as a child who hated school, which some of us may relate to here, and didn't feel like I had many peers for most of my schooling life. On set, I felt like I was surrounded by like-minded people who respected and valued my input. As actors, we are allowed permission to feel and lean into the emotions that we may shy away from or temper. Whilst this can be emotionally exhaustive, it is also very cathartic. The experience I had of being on set as a child and a teenager made me feel fearless. I felt completely unburdened by doubt. There was a sense in the air that anything was possible and my dreams were limitless. It's fascinating to reflect on how in childhood we begin with an innate sense of confidence, an unshakable self-belief. Yet as we grow older, our relationships with ourselves and our sense of self-worth become more layered. What is it about life's journey that makes something that is so natural into something so complex? One of the hardest parts of this job is the time spent away from home, away from your support network and routine. And this job is anything but predictable, and that can exacerbate the feeling of uncertainty and instability. A few years ago, I landed a job that would change my life forever. And one afternoon, I got the call that in 2 weeks, I would be leaving home for 10 months with no set return date. I felt a wave of excitement and nerves wash over me. I knew this would change my life, but I just didn't know how yet. Pretty quickly, I struggled to cope with my new life and the pressures that came with the job. I felt like I lacked agency over my life as I was living on a schedule that wasn't my own. I felt isolated, being oceans away from my family and support networks who I relied on greatly. I had no idea how to self-soothe, so I did everything but address what I was feeling. Feelings of isolation, feelings of insecurity, and at times inferiority. This became a cycle of negative self-talk, which led to unhealthy and self-destructive coping mechanisms as a way to escape what I was actually feeling. This cycle, it wreaked havoc on my mental health. It affected my ability to be present with people and to do my job, which is something that I place so much pride and value in. The idea of sitting alone with my thoughts, it was truly terrifying to me. And that little girl that I was, who was so fearless and unmoored by self-doubt, she felt like a stranger. I knew I needed to make change when a dear friend of mine expressed their concern at my current state and said, "You deserve to be happy," even though I didn't feel I deserved to be. The journey to self-recovery and self-appreciation made me face parts of myself I'd been running away from. I had to make peace with parts of myself I disliked so I could learn to love me again. I knew other people believed I was of value and worthy of happiness, and that belief made me want to convince myself that I was. I had to build myself back up, and that looked like asking for help when I needed it, and enforcing positive self-talk anytime I had a negative thought pattern. I realized that my body is my home. It holds my memories, my dreams, and it's where I live. This had a newfound impact on the way I saw myself physically, but also the way I treated my body. I established a balanced routine and downtime amongst the instability, and I learned how to self-soothe when those feelings of anxiety came up. This job certainly wasn't the reason for this happening to me, but the unique lifestyle that comes with the job certainly forced me to face my inner saboteur. I reflect on this time as a positive experience rather than a negative. This was an opportunity for me to grow and to be independent. Getting to a place of feeling worthy was a real journey for me, one that continues to ebb and flow, and I'd be lying if I said those feelings don't rear their ugly head occasionally. But they don't consume me like they used to, because I know I have worth, and I continue to try to love me. Loving me has been the hardest, most rewarding, and most important relationship I have ever been in. Our worth isn't just tied to what we do, how many friends we have, or how successful we are. To me, having worth is how you show up for yourself and for those around you. Our words matter. Our words are important. Our words make us alive because we're worth it. Thank you so much. Thank you.